Hey everybody, today is October 29th, 2021. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
Welcome to Hanging with Uncle.
Is it seriously already the 29th?
It's already the 29th. Happy Halloween, everybody.
It's coming up. Happy Halloween to those who celebrate. It's going to be a great time putting candy out for the kids who make it first, because I'm not going to be home.
Well, we have a treat.
Yes, we do. We do have a treat. You actually brought some
I
pretty good
slid down
stuff.
to the dispensary that I normally don't go to, but it's pretty close. And picked up some modified banana.
It's really good.
And this is topping the chart at 32% with no CBD.
Mm-hmm. It's a heavy. It hits right away.
It tastes so good.
It hits right away. It's a heavy hitter. I feel it mainly in the eyes right now. I don't know if it's mainly because of just the today or the high, but that's where I'm feeling it. It's a good indica. I'm in the
zone.
You're in the zone. You're feeling it.
I am.
Hey.
So, all right, man. Where you kick it off?
All right. Well, it has been kind of a rough week, but there was some light. I did see something about Canada making some headlines about changing in and how they're going to be doing some stock exchanges. So they made their own task force. Everyone's making task forces these days, like it seems. Like
right, yeah.
They're called the CMA to take down like naked shorting, basically. Like companies that are cheating out the way of shorting companies without actually possessing the short or the amount to be able to short out the company.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing because Great Britain has already done it, so they're ahead of us and obviously ahead of Canada too. But Canada's hopping into that space. Hopefully, we can reflect that because apparently Canada's market's getting put to shambles because of it.
Well, the one thing about Canada is they regulate their businesses, which is what they don't want done here because they like the greedy system where they can take all the money and don't have to pay anybody.
Oh, wow. And isn't their currency, is it less than our dollar right now, or is theirs more than our dollar? More?
Yeah.
So they're playing with an economy, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, we're paying attention to a stock that is spending billions and billions of dollars coming from Canada itself.
Right.
And yet its stock doesn't reflect the billions and billions of dollars that it's able to spend.
I looked at their business sheets, and they have like over $916 million cash on hand.
Like, how does that not reflect? Like, are they that shorted?
They are that shorted, and that's why I'm glad Canada's doing this. Because, again, shorting is basically raiding pension funds, betting on companies to lose.
Right, and keeping them small. Like, not giving them the opportunity to expand or, to develop unless they have a massive pop to where it gets the shorts to back off.
Right.
Like, it's really crazy. But, like, yeah, the CMA is meant to prevent naked shorts, which are shorts that aren't seen also. So you have to claim your shorts that you're putting against companies now. So you say, I own this short now. I have enough to do this. I can do this. Here we go, shorting you.
You mean in other words, it sounds like they're putting laws against dark money. They're making you disclose who owns what.
Yes, they're giving more power.
I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're giving more power to the retail investor, more power to the companies and corporations themselves within their own markets. So hopefully it helps give everyone a little bit more boost when we start showing that our market's a little bit more fair now these days. That's what it's supposed to be. It's a free trade market, isn't it?
It should be. That's what they promote it as anyway.
We've talked about that a lot, how it hasn't been free. So
right.
Anyways, I thought that was a cool idea because, that would help put us in a good place. Definitely.
Well, looking at it from that point of view, yeah.
Yeah, well, I meant us as in America itself. Like, if America steps up and starts taking care of these companies that are shorting other companies, like, events like GameStop wouldn't happen. Events like AMC, who is also shorted, wouldn't happen. Like, there are other companies that are out there that are shorted heavily that could be a lot bigger if they didn't exist,
Right.
Like, but anyways, hopefully we can reflect on that. Let's go Canada.
Let's bet on companies to succeed, not fail.
Go Canada.
Right. Right.
Anyways, kind of wanted to get into another topic that kind of just was a weird conversation, I felt, because I feel like it's something that should be a thing. Paid paternity leave.
Man. Okay, you're speaking to like over 75% of the country right now.
Okay, so there are podcasts, conversations galore, whichever. I'm sure if you look it up, you'll see headlines about it. But some are for it, some are against it. I thought it was just an automatic thing that happened, that, you know, the male, not necessarily just saying females, you know, females, I hope, get their maternity leave when they are pregnant and go and have babies and stuff, and the company is not like, oh, F you, you're having a baby, we're not going to keep you around. But for the male as well to be present in those early stages of life is a huge thing. It's huge.
I can tell you, I have 3 sons.
Right.
And I can tell you that it takes both parents at the very beginning for everyone's health being in welfare, because number one, mom has to recuperate. Baby needs to be taken care of. It's totally relying on mom and dad because it didn't ask to be put in this situation. Dad definitely has to be there to pick up the slack for that.
Right.
You know, I was home with my kids. You know, I took advantage of family leave. However, it was not paid. I had to make sure I saved enough money in vacation and comp time or whatever.
But that shouldn't be the case. Again.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's where we were at right there. That shouldn't be the case, but you had to.
And that's assuming every birth is the same, which they're not. Because, again, look at the population you work with.
Right, exactly.
You know, enough said.
Yeah, enough said. Like, some people need support through the state and whatnot. But, like, I lived in a family that, you know, had that kind of support. But also my dad was able, with the job that he did, or had, to work from home. Like, my dad was a stay-at-home dad. Able to take us to school, be there to pick us up. You know, watch foster children come in and out of the house, and take care of them. He was able, through his job alone, he was able to be there and be present. And I'm very thankful that I was able to have those times to have around my dad, because it gives me kind of like a good father figure, you know, like, there you go. Like,
so
kind of shows you how
your
to be
experience
kind of a male,
alone
you know?
should be motivation for our lawmakers to pass some type of paid family leave.
Yeah, for the family, not necessarily just the mother.
No, exactly.
The whole entire family, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And there's ways to get around it, because I know the first question is, well, how are we going to pay for it? Well, who's going to pay for it? You know, I don't want to hear that question, because this is not to get on a different tangent, but we spend how much money on national defense?
A lot. And
just what we spend on national defense is more than the top 7 countries in the world combined.
And then
so do we ever ask, how much is that going to cost?
Right. Yeah.
You know, so I don't want to hear it. When we can justify spending money that's going to kill people, that's okay. But when we want to talk about spending money to help families, that's unacceptable.
I mean, if your company doesn't want to support you in developing and growing, it's not a company worth spending your time with, to be honest. Like, that's mainly it.
That's why I just think, number one, our senators and our congressional representatives in the House of Representatives need to pass paid family leave for mother and father, period.
I mean, that'd be a huge... Honestly, that'd be big for companies just to advertise itself. Because right now, a lot of people are looking for remote pay. Or remote work. Sorry, not remote pay. Remote work. And then they want full... A lot of people want to work full time right now. But, like, remote work is one of the big things. But if you were to tag that to your company, be like, hey, we do this as well. Like, that we help families develop.
Yeah.
We are willing to spend our money to help you make it through these times so you can come back and work for us.
And I don't want to go on a tangent, but I'm tired of that argument how people just don't want to work. Oh, that's the problem with why the supply chain and inflation and things cost so much, is because people don't want to work. No,
people want to work today as most as they can.
People, everyone I know wants to work.
Right.
Everyone I know. There's nobody I know that doesn't want to work because everyone knows cash rules everything, and you got to have it to pay your rent.
You're just blessed that you're retired.
But you know, when I wasn't, I
At
worked
some point.
2 jobs most of my adult life. Though,
We've worked together.
Yeah, we did.
We've worked together.
That's right.
So you and I have gone 80 hours a paycheck together, front lines, and understand what it's like to go out there and work.
You know, so yeah, I don't want to hear that. I don't know anybody that doesn't want to work. Everybody that I know wants to work. What I know is that people are tired of being taken advantage of.
Right.
If you can't afford to pay somebody a living wage, then you don't have a viable business.
Absolutely not. Like, again, I've bitched and complained about my working situation multiple times. I'm blessed to have a job. I'm blessed to have 80 hours of paycheck, like I've said.
Yeah.
Like, and I attend those too. But if the company's not willing to grow with me, not willing to establish me, like, enough money for me to go and get my own house, to go and live on my own, because I've like I've said, I've gone from drinking age and now with this company, and they're not willing to support me for being there that long to go into living in a house and all that nonsense and keep my pay the same. That's kind of a big middle finger.
It really is. But I don't want to get down that sidetrack, man. To get back.
Sorry,
to
I don't want to make it more like a sidetrack, but that's the thing. If the company's not willing to develop with you and change, if the company's not willing to develop with you when you become pregnant,
right?
Not willing to develop with you and be like, hey, my wife is pregnant. Can I have time off to be with my child? The company's not willing to do that. It's not a good company to be with in general.
Exactly.
That's my solid point.
No, it really is. And my thing is that. That's recognized in Washington, D.C., which is why it made it as far as it did, as part of the infrastructure plan. But, Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema can get on their knees and hug me because they're the ones that killed it.
Big ol' hug.
You can let go when I tell you. But, it needs to happen. We're one of 7 countries in the entire planet that do not have paid family leave.
That's so sad. 1 in 7. We're the only ones.
We're the only one in the northern hemisphere.
That's
in the northern and western hemisphere.
That's ridiculous. I don't know. We talk about being progressive. I thought that was an automatic thing already. Like, I'm a young American. I'm going to have a family at some point. I want my time with my family, That's what I automatically thought I'd have.
It's important.
Yeah, I thought I'd have that. Man.
But anyway, there's so much more to talk about. I mean, but yeah, definitely paid family leave should be a no-brainer, man.
No, absolutely. I believe you had a large take today.
Oh my God!
You've been jazzing to get to talking about it.
Okay,
today.
here you do this part, and I will
grind up the goodies.
I want to talk about white supremacy in the United States.
Oh, sheesh. Okay, so wait. Before you start, can I talk about how crazy? If you haven't looked it up, take your own time to do it. But look up old Disney depictions of their old cartoons. Not just Song of the South. I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about old cartoons. Dumbo, like the 3 Little Pigs, everything, whatever they have. Check it out. Look it up on YouTube. Check and see the whole clip.
It's very well known. Walt Disney was a racist.
That's fucking. It's just crazy to look and see, but yeah. It's not a political thing, but they put it in cartoons.
So,
man,
this week, everybody remembers, what happened in Charlottesville when during the protest, that guy drove his car through the crowd and killed Heather Heyer.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that lawsuit started this week.
Okay.
And this is the funny part.
Okay.
These guys should be my dumbass of the week, but. There are 14 individuals that are being sued for, as a result of this. The people that planned this event and the Nazis and stuff, right?
Right.
And 10 corporations. So a total of 24.
Corporations?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And already, I mean, we're just in jury selection right now.
Oh, God, okay.
But already 10 motions have been granted, all in favor of plaintiffs, and none have been dismissed.
None have been dismissed.
None have been dismissed.
So there's valid evidence.
There really is. So again, just like my dumbass of the week last week, a couple of weeks ago, you know, the guy from Albany, New York. All of these people have decided to represent themselves instead of seeking their own counsel.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
No. What?
Right. So they're not that smart.
Yeah.
And not only that, so I'm really trying to keep it short because I could talk forever on this subject.
No, don't keep it short. This is a segment. What are you talking about? People.
So also remember Dylan Roofing killing those 9 people in the South Carolina church, Mother Emanuel Church. You know, back in the day,
right?
When Obama was president.
Yes, sir. I remember that.
All right. That civil case was awarded today.
Okay.
But before I go back to start on that, I want to talk about another hate group I learned about this week.
Another hate group,
and they're called 88.
Okay.
And what that means is 8 is the, or H is the 8th letter of the alphabet.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So 88, 2 H's together, Heil Hitler. So when you see somebody walking around with an 88 shirt or an 88 hat or, you know, proclaiming anything 88, they're white supremacist. And, yeah, that's a whole nother story again. This is not your source for news. This is just a couple of guys talking and how we see the world. So
well, all these unique groups that are now coming out of the woodwork because of, I don't know, it makes you a little uneasy. Like there was I don't know if anybody watches YouTube and does Channel 5 stuff. There was an interview of a black guy that was saying that he didn't want his children to be around like racial, racial education and stuff like that. Blah blah.
Critical race theory.
Yeah, and all that nonsense with a Proud Boy member behind him.
Right.
The fuck. Like,
so, you won't let me call him what I want to call him. But so we'll just call him an Uncle Tom. But
yeah, we don't like those.
Back, in the days of slavery, this person would have worked in the house and not on the plantation, not in the field. So you can fill in, let your imagination take it.
Yeah, I mean that's fact is facts. They would have been Samuel L. from Django, that's for sure.
Right. So to go back to Dylan Roof now.
Right.
The survivors of those 9 people that were killed got their judgment in court this week.
Good. That's good.
Guess how much they got?
What's up?
$88 million to divide between them.
Is that a sign? Is that what you're hitting at?
I'm just saying this, man.
We were talking. You and I were getting depth on just like theories in general, but like,
yeah.
You're thinking?
I'm thinking that the judge is, or the judge. Well,
do you think that is actually? So who makes the decision on how much is owed? Who makes that decision?
Normally, a jury would.
Okay.
And the judge okays it, or the judge can say, no, I disagree with the jury's ruling based on X, Y, and Z and make his own decision. All I know is the outcome was they were awarded $88 million.
Interesting.
So is Dylan Roof part of this 88 club?
I have no idea. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But that's a hefty.
I should have done my homework a little better before we started this. Because if he was part of the 88 group...
But, I mean, you would have to think, like, how... Like, you would have to see how that whole system works, talk about it, and kind of figure... Ooh, a little deep dive into conspiracy, huh? Like, we talked about Collateral one day.
We did.
And we did talk about Collateral one day, and that was...
I like it when Lady Karma speaks, her voice is loud and crystal.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But like I said earlier, we've been seeing a lot more of this racial stuff surface as of recently.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Like I said, it just makes me uneasy, like about just like the world and itself in the future. Like it's not. A lot of people are worried about now. I'm worried about our progressive future because like categorizing people, labeling people, all this it's just a mental setback. It really is.
you know, it really is, man. But
socially,
all I can say is right now, at least for white supremacists, it has not been a good week as far as the judicial system is concerned.
Every week. I hope for that every week.
Yeah, I hope they keep getting pounded because it's time we squashed white supremacy from the face of the earth once and for all. They tried it in Germany in the 30s, and now Trump tried it. I hate calling it the Tangerine Terror tried it.
I don't. Abolishing racism completely it's hard. That's a hard thing to do. But I believe in a world where making racists scared again is a possibility.
Man, I'll live in that world every day of the week.
Every day of the week. And what happened to being a closet racist? Because that needs to start happening again.
Right.
They need to run hide their closets. The gays are leaving them open for them.
Yep.
They're happy and free.
and we also know that the white supremacists were part of the January 6th, which I think we should, kind of segue into that part of the...
shit.
Because there's been some kind of, developments regarding the January 6th Commission.
We already talked about some senators that have been involved, haven't we?
We talked about 3.
Yes.
Remember, Ali Alexander said he was working with 3 of them, Paul Gosar, Andy Biggs, both of them from Arizona, and Mo Brooks from Alabama.
And isn't our favorite crazy blonde lady a part of it, too?
Well, thank you to Rolling Stone Magazine.
Segue.
Yes. We now know that also Madison Cawthorn from Texas, a Republican.
Okay.
Margarine Trader Green.
Our favorite.
Blonde, yes. She is part of it.
Oh, God.
And let's see. Lauren Boebert from Colorado and Louis Gohmert from Texas, all Republicans. Those are 4 additional names we can name of sitting congressmen that are now implicated in the planning of the January 6th attempt and overthrow of the United States government.
That is crazy. Not only one, the obvious people, but 2, this Arizona senators too, like the representatives here. Like that hurts me because.
Well, it's like they're not taking this like so. Congress Representative Cory Bush from Missouri, love Cory Bush, already has put a bill out there, sponsored a bill that any sitting member of Congress, that means House of Representatives or Senate, be expelled from Congress immediately. Once they're found guilty, once their involvement is found guilty.
Oh shit!
So now we know there's 7 that have been named. I wouldn't be surprised to see from the Senate, like Josh Hawley or Ted Cruz or somebody like that named.
Matt Gaetz, baby, I'm rooting for it. Let's go.
I wouldn't be surprised to find his name in there either.
I'm rooting for it. I'll put money on that motherfucker.
I say that just to say this, that if now we have found that there are 7 sitting members of Congress possibly implicated in this, I think we've moved past the January 6th Select Committee.
Okay.
I think it's time to appoint an independent counsel, because a Select Committee has the power to subpoena, and you can fight that because a Select Committee is only as good for the term as the Congress is.
Okay.
But you appoint an independent counsel, they have the authority under 28 U.S. Code 594.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, to investigate, prosecute under the authority of the Department of Justice.
So this group would have more power than the current group.
More power than the Select Committee.
More teams.
All I'm saying is, right now, we're talking about implicating sitting members of Congress. It's time to bring in an independent counsel. and take it out of Congress's hands and let independent counsel say, we've got it from here.
You're saying it's time to get down.
And it's time, because we're talking about sedition, overthrow of the United States government.
Right.
It's time to appoint an independent counsel.
Can we talk about the guy that wanted to shoot senators in that press meeting? Remember that little sketch that we talked about earlier?
Oh, man.
Because, so our take on it is to do it the democratic way, right? To make sure that we weed out the people, get the facts, make sure we get them out of Congress when the bads, get the baddies out, right? Get the oh man, don't put the poison in the gumbo, right? Get the poison out. So this man at this hearing, I don't know, I can't remember where it was, the name of it, but he asked a senator or a representative, what was his name? You're better with their faces than I am.
I think he was just an activist.
An activist? Okay. So some activist, right? And he actually asked, he's like, hey, when's the line? Do we actually bring out the guns? He's like, no, not joking. When do we draw the line here? And the senator representative, whatever he was, did not talk down the idea of getting guns out and killing people and killing senators. He just said that that's what they want you to do. They want you to do that.
Yeah.
So, I think the fuck?
I know.
There's more and more crazy shit that's happening on TV and video that I'm seeing. There's people asking about some stupid uprising. But then when they see, the storm, right? My God, the storm was crazy. 100 people showed up for the storm. Most of it was media. Most of it was...
And we got the orange idiot to thank for all of this.
Right. Most of it was people asking questions. But there was an overblown amount of numbers of thousands of people were there ready for the storm. But it didn't quite happen. It didn't quite happen because the people that were ready for the storm were ready to ask questions about the storm.
Yeah.
They weren't there to do the actual stupid fucking QAnon bullshit that people have been spewing these days. Man... It's dumb. I'm over it. It's already been more than a year. Well into the year. I'm done. I'm done with the conversation. I'm done with this bullshit. Like you said, we do need to make this task force, whatever the force needs the case may be. To
independent counsel.
Yeah, it just needs to be done. It needs to be over with it.
Yeah.
Man. Anyways, again.
Dumbass of the week.
Hey, you go first because I'm honestly still trying to find mine.
I know. Again, there's been so many to pick from. So my dumbass of the week is Tucker Carlson from Fox News.
Okay.
Because he's actually done a documentary to show that January 6th was a false flag. It was not bad. It was not a violent day of protest, even though people died.
Wow.
Police officers died, but it was a false flag. What we saw, the violence that we saw, them breaking windows to get in, that was a peaceful protest.
Oh, don't worry about that. Yeah,
right, yeah. So, Tucker Carlson, you're a dumbass. I know what I saw. You're stupid. You don't have any business being on the air. Shut up.
What the hell? It was just another tourist attraction.
I'm sick of it. It needs to be called out for what it was, period.
That is absolutely insane. That's what I've been saying. It needs to be done.
Tucker Carlson is just a lying SOB, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a dumbass. More just people. I want to recircle back to the paternity leave thing. The people who don't support fathers being there in the early time and stage of development for their child.
Joe Manchin, you can thank him for he's the one who killed that.
Right. Fuck him then. There you go. Joe Manchin, fuck you. That dumbass of the day.
All right. Well, anyway, we want to thank you guys. Again, I'm Gene.
I'm Zane. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter again and join us in the conversation. Go and follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Download and follow us on Spotify. And yeah,
and
that's
follow
it.
us on Twitter.
Twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm Zane.
It's banana stuff. I'm Gene. Thank you for hanging with Uncle.
Have a wonderful Halloween.
Yes. We'll see you next week.
See ya.